Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're on the 12th of June. Just had a little trip away over to York for a week. Well, 5 days. So we came back yesterday afternoon. And so on the Saturday, as I say, 12th June now, just come down the plot. And I don't know about you guys, but I never lose that sense of amazement how much things have grown in just less than a week. So I'll just show you what I mean quickly, and then I've got quite a lot of stuff to do. So for example, these loganberries have now set fruit. So they were just, I mean there's still some flowers on, but they were in sort of full flower just a few days ago. And here we have some really nice blueberries taking shape. I can see that these Savoy cabbage that I planted out about a week ago have definitely got settled down now, and they've started to put some new growth on. And as we move over, you can see that the salad bed here, the Lolo Rosso, is ready for picking again. The Pongo beans have acclimatised, settled in, and this dill, that must have grown a foot. I can see that it's starting to make some seed here. Looking down the asparagus beds here, they've really shot up, so I guess I'll need to put some string or some kind of support just to stop them blowing over. And then moving over toward this middle bed here, can't remember how many cuts I've had now, at least 2 off this chard, and it's ready for cutting again. I'll also be able to take some spring onions today, thinnings out of these stir-on onions. They've really jumped up. And the shallots seem to have got a lot greener as well. Even though they've still got yellow tips, they just seem to have perked up a wee bit. So I think in one of the last videos on the plot I covered these Mangetout. You can see here now I've definitely got a harvest today. That'll be the first picking, so I'm really looking forward to that. The beet transplants I put in a week ago, they've settled in now and rapidly growing. You can see there's some definitely harvestable beetroots in there. And I'm just noticing that this spinach is bolting now, so I can harvest that and then pull those plants out. These are the Pongo beans again, only planted 7 to 10 days ago, and they look really lush now, growing actively. And here in the carrot frame, I'm hoping you can make that out, we've got carrots germinated. And I've got to say a massive thank you to my friend Helen over in Norway, who got in touch with me, and after I'd mentioned on one of the videos about really bad germination of carrots, and this is the 3rd sowing, and she'd seen a video where somebody had put a board over the top just to prevent evaporation, keep some moisture there. So I did that, and it's absolutely worked almost 100%, so thank you Helen for that, that's fantastic. In the next frame here, I'm just gobsmacked by the rate of growth the parsnips have put on. It's looking like there's a pretty good set on the blackcurrants here. So in the 8x10, again I can see everything's really jumped up. We've got some flowers on. One of the cherries, actually I can see another one here. They're all getting their first truss. The basil has doubled in size, the cucumbers have doubled in size. Here on the Crimson Crush, got the first truss flowering. So I'm probably going to need to get in here and do some side shooting. That's the result of the boric acid that I used, so we'll see how we go on. I might have to put a fresh lot in and try again, but it certainly seems to have attracted them. Here in the 8x6, these are the cherry tomato variety stew peas. Again, they probably doubled in size. And I've just noticed, I don't know if you can make that out, but over there's another asparagus germinated from seed. That's cool. And the peppers, it looks like I did spray them with soapy water, but that to me looks like aphid problems again. So it seems like we need to have a repeat spray. But the bell peppers are looking alright. It's looking like there's a pretty good set on the blackcurrants here. And on this damson tree we've definitely got a fruit set. I tend to get this kind of thing a lot, so I always remove those. But I did spray this tree with neem oil and soap. It looks like I'm probably going to have to do it again. A lot of aphids there. But I would say it's worked because of this new growth that's come up from the tip. But I need to spray that again. And it also looks like these are summer fruiting raspberries. So it looks like there's plenty on there. I'll have to get those netted over before too long. So one of the first things I'm going to do is take this pot of leeks. I've got 2 of these, and in here I've got about 1/3 of a bucket of rainwater. I'm just going to plunge those in there so they can be soaking, and then I can pull them out, plunge them back in and tease the roots apart while I'm so they can be doing that while I'm picking the kale and preparing the ground. Okay, so I've got 2 nice bags. I've sort of put them in different smaller leaves that side and the larger leaves that side. So all I need to do now is just take the weeds out, give it a rake over, and then we'll start planting. So these have been soaking for a 1/4 of an hour. I can feel the weight. So if I just now knock them out the pot, and you see the root system on there. What I'm going to do now is plunge them back into that water, this rainwater, and we're just going to kind of jiggle them around a bit, and that way the compost will start to soften and break away from the roots, and that'll give us, it'll make the job easier to tease them apart when we come to planting. After a few minutes you might notice that this clump is starting to come apart now quite readily, and I've got another bucket of water here which I'll pop the clumps into, and just for the purpose of washing the compost, and then we can see what we're doing when we're pulling the plants apart ready to plant. Right, we're starting to get somewhere now. You've actually got some clumps separated, and now put them into another bucket of clean water, rainwater, and carry on that process. Just keep doing that until the compost is washed away. So you'll see now that's got most of the compost off. I'll pop them back in some water until we're ready to plant. But I hope that makes sense what I've done there, that these now should very easily just pull apart. quite easily, and we're ready for planting. So what I'll do now is I use a crowbar to plant my leeks because the ground's very stony. So I'll go and put a string line and we'll get the planting holes ready. That's the first row of the planted holes complete. They're about 6 inches deep and about 6 inches apart. When I rake the bed over, I put about an ounce of 777 NPK, rake that in as well. So now we're ready to start the first planting. Now there has been a debate, I reckon, about whether or not to trim the roots and the tops. Now I've done this for the last couple of years. Originally I never used to trim them, I wasn't an advocate of that. But I did do it the last 2 years and I've found that it actually makes no difference at all. What I mean by that is they were no better or worse than not trimming them. And it's much easier to get them in the planting hole, so I am going to trim them. I won't trim the top because there's not that much top really. So it's just a case of dropping it in the planting hole, like so. And just go along the row and just do the next one again, so you can see it's quite a long bunch of roots, about half. Cut them off. I usually like to dip it back in the water of the bucket and then just drop them in. So I'll come back to you when that row's done. There we go, that's the first row in. So basically I'm just going to do the same, repeat the same process. I'll get another 2 rows in there, say they're about a foot apart. And then we'll see how many. I'm going to have loads left, I know I am. So I'll come back to you when I've got the whole bed planted up. So that's all 3 rows complete. There's about 60 plants, give or take, in there. And you can see I've got my watering system set up, ready to go. Normally I'd pull them in with a watering can or a jug, but it's quite dry underneath. There is moisture there, but it's quite dry, and there's no prospect of any good amount of rain soon. In fact, it's going to be very, very hot tomorrow. So I think I'm going to just turn that on and really give them a good soaking in. If I just spin you round, that's what we've got left. There's probably 40 or 50 plants there. So I could have got away with sowing less seeds, but hey ho, there was only £1 a packet. And there's plenty of folks on this site who'd welcome those plants. So while those leeks are being watered, I can get on and harvest the mange too. Can't grumble at that for a first harvest of mange too. So today we can take our first harvest of spring onions, and this is the beauty of the multi-sown technique. We can just take them from the outside. So leaving the ones in the centre to go on and mature. So maybe leave 2 or perhaps just 1, depending on how big you want your onions. Anyway, I'll come back when I've got a bigger bunch. Now just some nice salad leaves. Happy days. Oh well, busy morning. That's bringing us nicely up towards lunchtime. So I'll probably come back down this afternoon. It's surprising, isn't it? You go away, as I say, less than a week, and I was clean and tidy and everything. But now there's the inevitable weeds that have to be pulled out and one thing and another. So there's plenty to do. I'll come back down this afternoon. I do believe it's going to be very warm tomorrow, so probably better to get things done as much as I can today. So yeah, just to say that when we were over in York, we went over to Knaresborough for half a day, so I did a little video on that which will be coming up shortly, so check that out if you're interested. And thanks as always for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and please do drop me a comment down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.